Movie Frappe, your K-cinema guide.
They thought they were taking an easy child. They were waking up a lethal demon.
성의를 찾아도 너희 둘은 죽는다.
Movie Frappe, let's begin.
Hello everyone, this is Movie Frappe, your guide to K-cinema. We don't just recap movies here, we break them open. Today's film is one of the most iconic Korean action movies ever made. Grab a coffee, get comfortable, and join me for another Korean movie story. A man who disappeared from the world, and a child who became his only reason to return. This is The Man from Nowhere.
An isolated man lives in a dark, dusty pawn shop. His name is Tae-shik, and he speaks to no one. The neighbors think he is just a creepy loner. Only one little girl named Somi visits him every day. She is neglected by her own troubled mother. Tae-shik pretends to dislike her constant presence. Yet, he shares his warm food with her anyway. They are two broken souls comforting each other silently. Then, one chaotic evening, everything shatters into pieces. Somi's mother steals something extremely dangerous from a mafia. It is a massive stash of pure illegal drugs. Dangerous, heavily armed men track the mother down quickly. They burst into Tae-shik's quiet, peaceful shop. They drag Somi away right before his eyes. The girl screams for his help in pure terror. Tae-shik's cold eyes suddenly spark with strange light. The casual criminals think he is just easy prey, but they made a truly fatal, irreversible mistake. This quiet pawn shop owner is not ordinary at all. They decide to use him as a dangerous tool.
In Korea, this scene feels a little different. The word ajushi literally means a middle-aged man, but emotionally, it can mean much more than that. Someone familiar, someone nearby, someone who quietly watches over you. That's what makes this relationship feel special to Korean viewers. Meanwhile, Tae-shik lives in complete silence. His pawn shop feels cut off from the rest of the world. He barely speaks. He barely smiles. It's as if he has already given up on life. Western viewers may find this strange. In many Western stories, healing begins with speaking. But in Korea, grief is often carried in silence, not because they don't feel it, because the pain feels too deep for words. Then Somi keeps showing up again and again. She talks to him, brings him small gifts, treats him like he still belongs in the world. Tae-shik never says much, but little by little, something starts to change for him.
The cartel boss orders Tae-shik to deliver a package. If he fails, the little girl dies immediately. But the delivery was never meant to succeed. It was a trap from the very beginning.
지금 그 때문에 이쪽은 두 사람이 뒤지게 생겼어.
Tae-shik demands that they release Somi and Hyo-jong in exchange for returning the package, but the bastards take only the illicit items inside the camera bag and vanish. And the next day, a call comes from them.
시키는 대로 할 테니까 두 사람 해치지 마라.
To keep the two of them alive, Tae-shik decides to run the errand ordered by the Man-seok and Jong-seok brothers. However, the cargo they forced him to deliver was a high-stakes illegal shipment.
당신이 오명규 사장이요. 약속대로 전달했어. 두 사람 보내줘. 니 누가 보내줬노? 아! 정확히 전달했어.
물건은 잘 받으셨나?
In the end, this entire situation was a trap orchestrated by Man-seok. A moment later, the task force chasing Oh Myung-gyu arrives. Tae-shik gets out and tries to pursue President Oh Myung-gyu. But just then, inside the trunk of the car Tae-shik drove, something absolutely shocking is uncovered. It was none other than what was left of Hyo-jong, stripped of everything, framed on the spot as the prime suspect, Tae-sik.
누가 차태식이야? 신혼중에 락에 걸렸어. 락?
Just then, looking at the card Somi gave him, Tae-sik resolves to break out.
밥 먹고 합시다 먹고.
너 왼손잡이요.
At the same time, investigators who visit Tae-sik's pawn shop discover another victim inside the place and immediately call headquarters.
여보세요? 뭐야? 박 형사 어딨어?
Tae-sik had already broken out. Somi is dragged into the underground ring run by the old woman.
엄마 보러 가야지.
At that moment, Tae-sik, who escaped from the station, begins to hunt down the Man Seok and Jong Seok brothers.
경찰 6 때려눕히고 오명규 파일 절취하는 데까지 4분 30초.
차태식이 신혼중에 락 걸어놓은 코드가 011. 군정보사야.
AIU가 통합되면서 만들어진 정보사 특작부대 요원으로서 비밀 임무 수행, 특수 살상무술 교관으로 복무했으며
여기서 판 거 맞지?
뭐요? 짭새요?
Using the information extracted from the dealer, Tae-sik enters the club where a dangerous broker known as Tochi operates. And here, Tae-sik comes face to face with Man Seok. Man Seok recognizes Tae-sik at a single glance, but Tae-sik fails to recognize Man Seok.
처음이신가 봐요? 물이 좋거든요, 얘가.
소미 어딨냐? 소미를 그 개미굴에 팔았다고.
만석이 종석이 그 새끼들이 알아.
After losing Man Seok and Jong Seok, Tae-sik is furious.
니들은 내일만 보고 살지. 내일만 사는 놈은 오늘만 사는 놈한테 죽는다.
The girl is taken away by ruthless criminals. For the first time, Tae-sik steps back into the world. But something feels different here. In many Hollywood movies, heroes explode with anger. They shout, they break things, they make promises of revenge. Tae-sik does none of that. He becomes even quieter. In Korean storytelling, silence can be more frightening than rage because the emotion is no longer being controlled. Then comes one of the most famous scenes in the film. Tae-sik stands in front of a mirror and cuts his hair. To Korean audiences, this doesn't feel like a makeover. It feels like a farewell. A farewell to the life he was trying to protect. A farewell to the man who wanted to stay hidden. From this moment on, Tae-sik stops running from his past, and the people hunting him have no idea what they've awakened.
Tae-sik begins preparing for war. He cuts his long hair completely in the mirror. His soft eyes turn into deadly, sharp blades. The secret military file finally opens up for police. He was a top agent for special operations, but he quit after a tragic, painful accident. A truck crushed his pregnant wife years ago. Tae-sik lost his whole world in that blood. Now, he sees Somi as his last hope. He tracks down the gangster's money collector first. He breaks into their secret drug-making facility. Tae-sik moves like an unstoppable, fierce storm. He shoots every single criminal in his way. He finds the room where children are trapped. But Somi is already gone from that place. The evil brothers took her to a doctor. Tae-sik feels his heart burning with pure fire. He leaves a trail of blood behind him now. The criminals are starting to feel true terror. They realize they grabbed the wrong man's friend.
Somi was never Tae-sik's daughter. She was simply the one who stayed, the one who kept knocking on his door. Here's a question worth thinking about. Is Tae-sik saving her because he loves her, or because he simply cannot abandon her? In Korea, those feelings are not identical. Love can be a choice, but emotional debt feels different. Someone reaches out during your darkest days. Someone stays when everyone else leaves. Someone asks for nothing in return. That kind of kindness never leaves you. Somi never asked him to save her. She simply stayed near him. And sometimes that means more than love. That's why Tae-shik's violence feels different. He's not chasing justice. He's not seeking glory. He is fighting because he was seen. For a man already gone from the world, being seen again changes everything. That's why this story hurts so much. Beneath the bullets and the violence, there is still a lonely man. A man refusing to lose his world again.
Tae-sik arrives at the gangster boss's main penthouse. The older brother, Mon Seok, waits for him there. He throws a small, cold container onto the floor. Inside the glass are two fresh human eyes. Mon Seok smiles and says they belong to Somi. Tae-sik stops breathing as the world turns black. His eyes fill with tears of pure, breaking agony. A dozen elite bodyguards surround him with sharp knives. The most brutal, violent battle begins right here. He fights like a man who wants to die. He faces Ram Rowan, the lethal foreign hitman assassin. They clash in a lightning-fast knife duel. Tae-sik overpowers the assassin with pure, vicious rage. He drives the blade deep into his enemy. Only the main boss, Man Seok, is left alive. Man Seok runs away to his bulletproof luxury car. He locks the door and laughs at Tae-sik. Tae-sik walks up to the car very slowly. He aims his gun at the thick glass window. He fires at the exact same spot repeatedly. The bulletproof glass starts to crack open wide. Man Seok screams in absolute, helpless horror inside.
아직 한 발 남았다.
The final bullet pierces through the broken glass.
There is one line that Korean audiences never forgot. I only live for today. It sounds simple at first, but many Korean viewers hear something heartbreaking in those words. Because people usually say that after giving up on tomorrow. A future they once dreamed about, a happiness they thought would last. Tae-shik already lost all of that. That is why he buried himself inside that small pawn shop. Not because he was afraid, because he had nothing left to look forward to. Then Somi appeared. She simply stayed near him. Sometimes being remembered matters more than being loved. That is why Tae-shik keeps moving forward. Not because he wants revenge, because losing her would mean losing the last piece of his world. That is why his anger feels different. It is not the anger of a warrior. It is the grief of a man who has already lost everything once before. Audiences feel more than excitement. They feel his heartbreak. Every punch, every bullet, every step forward feels less like revenge and more like grief.
The bloody battlefield finally becomes completely silent now. Tae-sik stands alone among the fallen enemies. He puts the cold gun to his own head. He wants to end his long, painful journey here. Suddenly, a small, familiar voice calls his name out. Ajoshi. Tae-sik turns around, thinking it's a beautiful ghost. But Somi is standing there, completely safe and alive. The foreign hitman actually spared her young eyes before. Somi walks through the blood toward her lonely protector. Tae-sik drops his heavy gun onto the floor. He falls to his knees as tears stream down. He wraps his bleeding arms around the tiny girl. For the first time, he smiles very softly. The dark pawn shop ghost is finally gone forever.
The handcuffs finally close around Tae-shik's wrists. Tae-sik asks the detective for one small favor. He walks over to Somi at the storefront. He buys her a backpack filled with school supplies. He places a new backpack into her hands. A simple gift, but perhaps the most normal thing he has done in years.
그때 모른 척해서 미안해. 혼자 서는 거야. 할 수 있지?
Somi can no longer hold back her tears, and neither can he. For a moment, all the violence disappears. No guns, no blood, no revenge. Only two lonely people saying goodbye. In the end, he saved Somi. But Somi saved him too. The Man from Nowhere is remembered not for its violence, it is remembered for the humanity hidden behind that violence.
Be honest. If Somi had never appeared in his life, would Tae-shik have ever come back to the world? Was he saving Somi? Or was Somi the one saving him? Let me know your thoughts below. If this story stayed with you after the credits rolled, then this movie probably gave you more than action. Here at Movie Frappe, that's exactly what we love exploring. The emotions hidden behind the story, the cultural meaning behind the scenes, and the unforgettable characters who stay with us long after the movie ends. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe and join us for the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Movie Frappe for more K-cinema guides.